yummy. Check it out. Check it out.
Chicken teriyaki. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yummy chicken teriyaki. Check it out. Check it out.
Your favorite park, Busch, Tampa.
Oh boy.
Is gonna redo
Timbuktu. You're kidding.
And they're gonna call it Pantopia.
Timbuktu? Well, my first reaction is, which land is that?
Cement Town.
Do they have names there? Because I don't even know.
That's what
they're all the same to me. I don't even know which one is which.
It's what we like to call Cement Town.
It's Concrete Kingdom. Yeah, it's Cement Town, huh? I believe it's more or less, center of the park?
Yes.
They call it Timbuktu. We call it Cement Town. Why do we call it Cement Town?
Because you don't know!
Because it's all concrete.
Because it's a really shitty, awful, depressing looking themed land.
Yeah, it's just nothing but these ugly made of concrete buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, at least Seuss Landing, they do a better job of making it look like everything's not made of concrete, even though it really is.
It's at least colorfully painted concrete.
Yeah, they give you something.
But it was all just bland beige.
Oh, yeah.
Like white and beige paint on this stucco-covered concrete.
Ugh. That's the stuff that...
With just a couple of fake wood logs sticking out of a couple of points, but that was it. It was nothing to draw your eye. It looked like crap.
The stuff of that theme park nightmares are made of.
Oh. And it's the area where they have a Scorpion, the One Loop Wonder by Schwarzkopf. It's actually the area where the Fest House is in.
Yep.
Which they don't call the Fest House anymore.
No.
Now it's Desert Grill, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And the Cheetah Chase is over there.
Yeah.
The old Wild Izzy.
Yeah, where is he? He's in Busch, Tampa. It's called Cheetah Chase. That's where he is.
Where is he?
Yeah, there you go. And the main focal, that's not really the centerpiece, but the main focal point is the theater, which is the 4D theater. They show the 4D movies.
40 movies?
40 movies. They show 40 movies a day in 4D.
And this is the area where Falcon's Fury is going in?
Yes.
Okay.
This is where the new ride, Falcon's Fury, is going in. And I guess in honor of this, they're going to retheme the land.
Yeah. It looks like they're actually going to paint these buildings.
Well, yes. By retheme, I mean do a half-ass paint job on the concrete. Oh, and yes, add some beautiful-looking lights into the trees.
So lights in the trees.
This is just
we
a
rethemed
joke.
It. It's different now.
This is just a joke. Fuck you, Busch Gardens, Tampa. That's all I have to say about this. I hate this park to begin with, and this is just an insult. I mean, they're not even doing it. All they're doing, we just talked about Seuss Landing. Yeah, they're just going to make the concrete a little more colorful. They're just going to paint the buildings some wacky colors, which make no sense for any kind of African theme. Also, they're going to add just a couple of dumb murals on them as well. They're going to paint them in bright orange and yellows and greens, and then they're going to add like pictures of some animals. Just in paint. Just paint. That's all they're doing. Is painting. Maybe they're adding a little bit of something, a little false front, a little false top on a couple things.
A little false sense of a themed area.
Yeah, but it's not going to be anything substantial. It's mostly just paint. And yeah, I love they're adding just these fake candle light things in the trees. These like phony lanterns they'll hang from the trees.
Yeah, in that same piece of artwork, they have chairs on a wall.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. I didn't even notice that. There's a blue wall which just looks like wooden dining room chairs affixed to it. Just up, high up. Like the chairs are decorations on the walls. This is bullshit.
There's so much dumb shit in this one piece of concept art. You also have pipes sticking out of the wall, like industrial-sized pipe.
Yeah, they added. It's like
coming out of brick.
It's like Axis Chemicals. It's like Gotham City theming.
Yeah, there's smokestacks on the roof.
They added smokestacks and pipes coming out of it. That's the theater, right? That's the theater building.
I have no idea what this is supposed to be.
The Desert Grill. I don't know which way this is supposed to be looking.
Yeah,
I'm confused as well. But yeah, this is really bad. This is just awful. This is, oh my god. And then this shot, oh, there's just going to be random, like, water things. That's a ripoff of Tiki Room. It's like that wooden thing that fills with water, and then when it gets heavy, it'll naturally, like, dip down on the hinges and then pour the water to the next level, the next container, and then that will, it's like one of those things.
Oh, I was thinking islands, port of entry. Those giant clamshell things.
Oh, the water cascades down to those two. Yeah, it's a ripoff of a lot of things, I guess, that they're going to do that too. And oh god. No, that's the, oh yeah, and it looks like, according to this, they're going to put maybe one of the old Rhino Rally Jeeps, pull the tires off and just throw it in there too as part of this. Because that's just sitting there. Why would they even do that? They're going with this cheesy fantasy version
I have no idea.
of Africa, and then like, why would you put the broken down Jeep with no tires? That's like Animal Kingdom. That's like themed too well. Now you're just really making a weird juxtaposition, just throwing all this shit together, like the depressing reality of like they can't even keep their Jeeps running, and then this phony bullshit. And there's Falcon's Fury. It looks like garbage.
Yeah, no theming, just a sign.
No, of course not. It's just going to be it's a thrill ride. It's all about the gimmick. Face down.
So there's going to be monkeys on the lamps.
Yeah, is that supposed to be a real monkey? Or I guess that's a fake.
They're going to, oh, come on, a real monkey.
All right.
A real monkey. It's going to sit there all day and fling his shit at the guests.
It's a real monkey. It's Mike Nismith. It's going to sit there and sing his quirky songs.
They're gonna have
there's a real
lizards on the water stick.
There's a real penis-y looking tower on the right there. It's like a condom covered penis with a reservoir tip. What are they doing? This artwork is a laugh, and let's talk about this name. Pantopia? And what the fuck does that mean?
Alltopia? I don't know.
Well, what I think, or the first thing I thought, is Avatar. What is it?
Oh,
Pandora?
Yeah.
So what? They're just trying to get a jump? Like, we'll get this open before Busch. You are Busch. We'll get this open before Disney gets their Avatar thing.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get Pantopia. It's not quite Pandora.
Not quite Autopia.
It's not quite Autopia either. In fact, it's only a fraction as good as either one of those things.
Yeah, that is a very...
no, I really think...
clearly trying to rip off Pandora.
Yeah, Pantopia. They're actually... I think they're trying to prey on like the stupidest and most ignorant of tourists. Because they'll just put in the brochures, oh, Pantopia, open now. Or on the billboards even. And then people will think, oh, it's the Avatar thing. Let's go there.
Oh, that's sinister.
Right? And then once they're there, it's like 45 minutes to an hour from Disney. You're not going to just turn back and not go in. Once you find out
Oh, might as well go in.
that, oh, the monkey out front should have told you. It's not really Avatar. We have nothing to do with that. So you're going to go in anyway, and you'll eat up whatever garbage they have there. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is a real pull the wool over your eyes kind of campaign here.
Man, that's kind of awful, actually.
Again, do I know for sure that's what they were thinking? No, but I have my serious suspicions.
I think that's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, Pantopia,
I don't buy it.
Pandora, come on. Put it together. Think about it. Why is it Pantopia? Because they're ripping off Pandora. Let's just stop for a minute. On this episode of Night Rides, I have to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Mr. Muffy, who recently sent me a text to let me know who she was. And
Gee.
all I have to say is, yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's a crazy world.
Mr. Muffy, really a girl. Go figure. But all I have to say is, no! It's you? You're Mr. Muffy? Thank you for letting me know. So I never would have figured that out. No, thank you. Thank you for listening, and thanks for enjoying. Right.
Hey, Brian, did you hear that Six Flags is putting in seatbelts in all their coasters now?
No, I didn't hear that one. But I guess I know now.
They're doing it.
They're doing it, huh?
Yeah. Goliath.
Really?
Superman out in Discovery Kingdom.
Discovery Kingdom, huh?
Yeah. Full Throttle at Magic Mountain. They're starting to do it.
Well, I am glad, because I have never felt safe on any of those rides.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
come on, just a lap bar. It's just nuts.
no, you're
I even had this friend who had a friend who told me about this one time where the person they were sitting next to, in the middle of a ride, the lap bar just came up. Just totally came up. And it was like incredible, and they just barely survived. I mean, they had to hold themselves in, just like scratching and clawing for survival, and to make it back to the station. And then when they got out, they go to the operator, like, hey, my thing, like halfway through the ride, my thing just flew open. I had no restraint, and the ride operator just like didn't even care, and they were just like, yeah, that happens a lot, and laughed it off, and then the day went on. So I am so glad, because, you need that extra restraint. You need something to fall back on. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. That's all I got to say about this.
Apparently Great Adventure is looking into building a hotel again. They're thinking about it.
Yeah, I did hear something about this.
I know. I loved it. I loved the idea when they announced this the last time a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, I know we all did. Just the thought of what a Six Flags Great Adventure hotel would be is just hilarious.
Trash in the hallways.
Every garbage can overturned when you walk in the room. The bed, one will be made up. The other will be a stripped down mattress with a sign, that it's out of order for that day. Sorry. You paid for a double room, a double, but you're only going to get one bed tonight. One bed operation, I guess you could call it.
Dirty towels.
Oh. mold in the shower.
Yeah. Toilet won't really flush. It'll get clogged very easily.
Pre-clogged.
Pre-clogged.
You'll walk in, there'll be a log in there already.
Brown water won't be clean.
Yeah, just graffiti on the walls. Not like, inner city graffiti, just the scratched in and just a whole one wall of the room, like the headboard wall with the beds, will just be all gum. Like one person started it, and then there'll just be 100 pieces of gum now at that point that have all been stuck there.
Yeah.
Above your bed.
And it'll cost a ton of money to stay at this place.
Yes, and it'll be twice as much as any other hotel room.
So, what I'm trying to say is, I'm all for this.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Let's do it.
Because I know that Six Flags is totally, not the same company. They're actually pretty much exactly the same as they were, now that I'm thinking about it.
What are you saying? They're not the same company? Oh, no, they are.
No, they are. So,
my theory on it is, when it comes to Six Flags, and there's been, just in the last decade, there's been like 3 different regimes. We came in, it was still Premier, then it was the Shapiro days, and now it's whoever the fuck. But for some reason in this company, being Six Flags, the management, the individuals, the new individuals that come in don't shape Six Flags. Six Flags shapes the individuals. You just become what Six Flags is. It doesn't matter who's ever been in charge. It's always been the same.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So it's just one of those things. You get in there, you may come in with a whole new energy and all these new ideas, and within a couple months, you're just broken down, beaten down, and it's just the Six Flags culture just overtakes you. And you become what Six Flags has always become, or always been. And it's amazing. No one's ever been actually able to come in and change it. It's just always the same. Little different twists here and there, little different angles, but it's always overall the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's amazing. And then just another comment from myself about the hotel and what I read more recently about it, where they're pushing it and saying that they want to make Great Adventure a multiple day destination. And I'm just putting a hotel there doesn't do that. I mean, all I can think is that it's still the same crappy park.
Right,
I mean, they do have.
They have a ton of coasters.
They have a lot, but they do have not the far from the most, but they have quality.
But they
more,
do.
More than quantity, they have quality. They do have
Yes.
A few of the best coasters I've ever been on, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a few really awesome kick-ass rides.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
But it's just coasters, which don't appeal to everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's still just a small, overall dumpy regional park. So how about you work on building the park right first before you worry about, just putting some rooms that people can stay in. I don't see how that's just going to make it a multiple day destination. Because in the entire history of that park, they've never done anything to really set it up to be anything more than just your local, yokel, regional park. So, more power to them if they want to build it, sure. But somehow I don't think it's going to work. Somehow I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Well, actually, yeah.
Personally, I don't think it's even going to happen anyway.
Right, I'm totally with you on that. It's difficult to see this actually going through.
So, yeah. So, I guess...
Because, like you said, there's no real reason for it.
No, there's no hotels there in the first place. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason why none of the chains have built a property there, because there's no need for it.
Yeah.
It's just Great Adventure.
Yeah, there's nothing else in that area.
No.
So
there's not. There's nothing going on there. It's just some silly talk by John Fitzgerald. I guess he's trying to do something, but I don't blame him for it. But it's never gonna happen. Not until that park goes through a major transformation. And that ain't happening anytime soon either, so. Thanks for riding. Oh. Have we got some news for you? There's this new thing. It's about to revolutionize the industry. Called the Polercoaster. Why is it called that? Not because it's from the North Pole. Because it's a roller coaster that's built around a pole? A giant pole? Oh, it's a stupid fucking name, alright? So, this is what? This is a kind of a prefab thing. Like, this isn't someone's, it's someone's vision, but it's not, it's like they made it to be like a shelf model almost, right?
Yes.
It's like the manufacturer designed it, and then they are now selling it to developers to actually build it. It's not a developer's vision.
Right, it's not like
you might
Steve
think.
Wynn wanted to build a new tower in Vegas with this coaster on it or something.
Yeah, which kind of like the Stratosphere was like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is like the other way. This is like, Vekoma having the boomerang. It's like they developed something.
Yeah, right.
They debuted it. So, it's somewhere along the way. They pushed it. They advertised it, and now they've been looking for buyers. And I guess at least the rumor. I don't think anything's been officially announced, right? But it's just all rumor and hearsay at this point. That there has been a couple of buyers.
Yeah. SNS is involved with this.
Are they the ones who offer it? They're the manufacturer? Or
It's
partly them.
Yeah, it's SNS and US Thrill Rides.
All right, so it's a joint venture because
Yes.
this is so big.
And at IAAPA, one of those companies, I can't remember which one now, announced that they'll be putting one of these in Orlando.
Haha.
Well, what do you think of this design?
Well, I don't know what it is. It's a giant tower, is what it is, right? It's like 1,000 feet or something. Or I guess it's like they could build it to suit whatever the buyer wants. Is what it is.
Yeah, they're saying it could be 100 to 500 feet.
Oh, so it's not 1,000?
No,
Why did I think it was that big? All right, it's not. So it's not
because that's what you would think for a really big tower.
Yeah, it's no stratosphere or anything. It's all right. So it's 1 to 500 feet. They'll build to suit. It's just a bare bones tower, the actual tower structure, right? And then it's got an observation deck on top. So I guess there's elevators in the center of it to get up and down to the observation deck.
Mm. I would hope so. I hope they're not going to force you to walk it.
It's not stairs. They go up. And then they just throw a roller coaster track that just spirals up and then back down again around the center pole. I guess that's why it's the Polercoaster, because it's like the pole of the tower. So just a long kind of
spirals around the pole.
Yeah, it's a long, slender, cylindrical tower where the top is actually, wider than the base and the pole to house an observation deck, and then there's again the spiral coaster track that goes up and then back down. So, and an interesting idea, I guess. Is it?
Yeah, I'm actually not totally sure what to make of this.
It's not even. I mean, I guess it's not that dissimilar from the. It looks like the Skylon Tower. Skylon, is that what it was from Niagara Falls?
Yeah, it does look like that.
The Skylon, and then which in itself is sort of a mini CN Tower from the city of Toronto.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yes, CN Tower is very big.
So I don't know. This is just a really weird thing because I think in the past these towers have been something where, again, a developer came in and wanted to do it. Now you have someone just kind of marketing this like, hey, buy it and build it in your city. So I don't know. Orlando,
And
so I guess it's what they didn't say who it was, but I'm assuming it would be an independent. It would be one of those somewhere on either iDrive or.
They're saying there and maybe also another one in Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh, God.
Well, there you go.
I didn't want to mention Georgia, but
oh, you did. I do declare, it is about time that the South is going to receive the tallest roller coaster in the world. I told you. We were just biding our time. The roller coasters of the South will rise again. We will overtake your precious Kingda car. And we will reign supreme for all time. All roller coasters. Yeah, Colonel, great.
This will probably be fun just from the sheer height that these things will be.
Yeah, so it would be, I guess, the tallest roller coaster if it happens.
Yeah.
I guess it would take something like this to beat out the rocket coasters at this point, because you're not going to get You're not going to get an airtime machine that just has a 500-foot lift hill. Really?
Yeah. No, you're not going to do that.
At this point, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So the rocket coasters in themselves are very gimmicky to even have broken that 400-foot barrier.
Yeah.
They had to go with a gimmick-style ride to do it. And now this is another gimmick now by hooking it to just an otherwise observation tower to make this happen. To now have a 500-foot coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, I guess.
It's a little interesting, actually, that from the get-go, they're going to get more than one use out of this tower. It's going to be not only a coaster, but it'll also be an observation tower. Who knows? They could probably put a restaurant and shops up there, whatever, depending on how big they make it.
Right, and maybe do a simulator.
Sure.
4D show. Are they doing a big shot on top? I don't think so.
Doesn't look like that in the pictures anyway. Concept art.
Who knows if that's a possibility.
Yeah. But and my point is, this is such a big thing and it costs so much money that you probably want to get as much use out of it as you can.
All right, I see where you're going. No, yeah, that's a good point.
So I mean, I'm sort of playing off what you said a little bit about, it's going to take something like this to, if you want a taller coaster, if you want to just keep going higher.
Yeah.
I can't see it being a singular ride. Its only purpose is to just be this tall, gigantic thing. You're going to have to pair it with something else. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth the money.
Yeah, and it won't happen. So this will allow that to happen for the 500-foot range anyway.
Yeah. I'm excited to see at least one of these go up, actually. Now that we're talking about this, I want to see this happen at least once.
I guess. I mean, look at this artwork. I have serious concerns over the ride itself, though. I mean, again, now talking about the gimmicks, at least even from when I first saw an animation of Dragster, we'd already ridden Accelerator, so we'd already had the small version of it, so I knew it was going to be awesome. And it may be gimmicky, but it's a worthwhile gimmick.
Oh yeah.
This I'm not so sure. A spiral lift up is fine. It'll be great views as you get higher and higher, so that's cool. But all you can do is just whatever you can do spiraling down. And it's not just going to be a really long, seemingly endless helix. I understand that. I understand it's actually going to be some zero gravity rolls or whatnot. You'll roll over a couple times while you're going down.
I don't know.
Or whatever.
It's tough to see in the.
So there'll be a couple of things going on, but it's still limiting what they can really do. You really, you can't,
you're not going to have a Cobra roll or something.
Yeah, you can't do every type of anything you really want to do. There's really no chances for too much airtime because you gotta just keep going down. There's really once you're up, you get to the apex, and then you're just gonna start going down. So there's not really too much of a chance again for you can't have really airtime hills. It's very limiting.
But you can't change direction either. You have to go whatever it is, right or left, whatever
clockwise
direction
or counterclockwise. Once you commit to whatever direction you're going, that's it. So that's where I'm very skeptical here. I don't know how good this ride will be. And maybe they built a 500-foot ride, a coaster. And I rode the 500-foot roller coaster, but how good is it going to be?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about this particular gimmick. Where it has to hug this tower.
Yeah.
And the only supports they're going to do is on the supports of the tower itself. So it's not it can't be a full all-out roller coaster experience. It can't be anything close to even an adventure coaster. It's just going to be
right. Yeah, it's not going to be really satisfying.
The high gimmick that it is. And then I know for myself anyway, I'm somewhat doubtful this will ever happen.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Just because it's such a huge project, it's obviously not cheap. To build one of these.
This will cost a ton of money.
And I just don't know. I'm very skeptical. Let's get back to the Six Flags seatbelts.
What? I thought we were done with that.
Yeah, so did I, but...
I thought we said everything that we needed to say.
You see, this goes back to what we talked about on our very second episode. This is just another knee-jerk reaction. I guess it's not really knee-jerk. I mean, it took them a bunch of months. They went from... I guess they finished the 2013 season, and now this is an inter-season, in-between season thing that they're doing. But it's just another blown out of proportion reaction to something. Obviously, this is all because of Texas Giant.
Oh, of course.
Can we agree on that? Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So that's what started this whole thing. This whole idea that every roller coaster that doesn't have a seatbelt now needs to have one. I guess if it doesn't have over the shoulder. So if it's just a lap bar, then we got to throw a seatbelt in there too now.
Oh, yeah.
And, this is just not necessary.
No, it's not, because if there wasn't a problem with the rides that had lap bars but didn't have seatbelts, then there's no problem.
Exactly. Why would there be a problem now?
Right. I understand.
Even if they... Oh, what are you going to say?
No, I understand the thinking that they think, we'll be preventative and proactive, but it's really unnecessary.
Well, I was thinking along the lines of I understand why they're is that as if you understand why they maybe put seatbelts on Texas Giant.
Oh yeah,
since that was the culprit, that was the ride that something happened on.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Even if you want to go that far, even though they're not really needed on that ride either. We know that, but to go and put them on everything else, just silly.
Yeah,
I mean. The ride manufacturers didn't put them in,
right?
And it's not like they don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they want to just kill people, and it's up to the park to figure out. We designed the ride, we do it, it's great, it's fun to ride, but hell, it's fucking dangerous. Mm-hmm. Anyone could die any minute, so it's up to the park. You'd have to decide how to make people safe. We don't deal with that. We just build the ride, the track, the train. It works, whatever. Rest is up to you. It's not like that's how they do it. It's all done. Right. I mean, the manufacturer does everything, including the safety.
Now, what we're saying might be construed as heartless or all those guys are a bunch of assholes because somebody died. Mm-hmm. Have respect. And yeah, that was terrible. But at the same time, putting seatbelts on every single ride isn't necessarily going to prevent something like that from happening again.
I truly don't believe it will, personally. So that's why I really don't. It's not one and the same. It's not.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess people could see it that way. I mean, trust me, we are assholes, but for different reasons.
Yes.
We're not callous to death and dying at all.
Right. It's just that
it's a couple issues. For me, you're putting in a redundant restraint. I don't think it's making anything safer. What I think they're doing is they can't just say to certain people, "You're too fat, you can't ride," and because then you get sued for discrimination. So they can't have ride operators that are honestly discriminating. They also can't make the lap bars programmed so that they have to close to such a ridiculous extent that then you start eliminating almost everybody from riding it except for the smallest of people.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the one in Silver Dollar City was doing that for a little bit, and then they changed
Outlaw
it back
Run?
Because they realized this is not working. For a couple weeks there,
Yeah, the reports.
there was anybody over like 5'8" and over 150 pounds couldn't ride it.
Yeah, the
It was
reports
something
were that
really weird. It was,
restraints became extremely discriminatory.
yeah. So they throw a seatbelt in. So now I guess if the seatbelt can't get around your waist, well then you're too fat. You can't ride. A lot of it comes down to just its political correctness and the lawsuits that the threat of lawsuits that's out there at any time for any business. That they can't just have operators that are just educated and can just look and say, no, you shouldn't be riding this.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be something that's a part of the ride that, well, if this can't click or if this doesn't light up or if this, then you can't ride. So it becomes like this other thing. And it has to be something like that. Otherwise there's problems. There's going to be PR problems, legal problems, the whole thing. So I think that's what a lot of this comes out of. Maybe some people do believe, honestly, that seatbelts make a difference. Again, I personally don't. Also, I don't know of any example of a time when a lap bar or an over-the-shoulder restraint failed and the seatbelt caught it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if anyone knows, could someone really write in with an example? Did a seatbelt ever saved a malfunction of the lap bar or the over-the-shoulder? It's like the B&Ms with those little seatbelts. I think that's the silliest thing ever. And I think about that too is there is a thing, and I don't know the actual scientific names, but for all this, but there is a situation where a seatbelt, if it's kind of limp and has slack, and then is suddenly has to be engaged and it has to become taut really quick, like if one of those B&M over the shoulders popped up all of a sudden, where because of that situation, it can actually tear. Mm-hmm. It becomes weak, and it doesn't act on its full strength. And I don't know all the scientific jargon and why, but I know it has to do with it's how you can tear a phone book in half. It's that same effect.
Yeah, you have to.
It has something to do with how Dale Earnhardt died.
Oh, really?
Actually, how his seatbelt snapped. So look that shit up, and you'll see what I'm talking about with that too. And another reason why I don't think those seatbelts will do anything, because I think if it ever came to a situation where a sudden large amount of stress was suddenly put on one of those belts, they may actually just snap.
Well, I would hope that B&M would test that safety feature.
But do they? I mean, do they really rig a train on one of their high G rides, like a Batman on the Ride clone? I doubt that's ever happened. I doubt they've ever tested it.
No, I'm sure you could recreate that situation without actually having to build a ride.
All right. I mean,
I would hope that they would test for that.
But that's still not absolute. I mean, they're not going to know for sure unless you test it in the real situation.
I think you could approximate it. I think you could.
All right.
You could do it just fine. But the thing is, you said before that the seatbelt becomes a redundant safety feature, and the thing is, there are already redundant safety mechanisms in place. It's not like the lap bar is the only thing there. There are also other safety features in the station and I'm sure on the train itself that prevent certain things from failing. So if something does fail, there's something else there to catch it. It's not everything's relying on one thing. I'm sure that nothing is designed that way. Because that wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense to me. So adding a seatbelt, having Six Flags add the seatbelt. Think about that too.
And years after some of these rides have been operating.
Yeah. I mean, they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know that they can just drill a seatbelt into the side of their train and it'll be okay if something actually does happen. They have no idea. They're just doing it because, like you said, it looks good for them.
Yeah, and then what it really does is it lowers capacity.
Yeah.
Because it takes that much longer to get everybody in and get all the seatbelts clicked and tightened. So the biggest nuisance is that it lowers capacity by increasing dispatch times. And then the second worst thing about it is that it just makes the ride a little more uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something kind of wearing on you, it's just more pressure points on your lap, and it's just annoying.
Yeah, not in all cases, but it can be that way. So a knee-jerk reaction by Six Flags.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Big ride with Thanks for Riding. Kentucky Kingdom announced that they're going to put in a new coaster for 2014, Chance Coaster, called Lightning Run. It's like supposed to be a mini
I get
hyper coaster.
Wait. I get it. They got Thunder Run.
Yeah.
And now you got Lightning Run.
It only makes sense.
Thunder and Lightning.
Coming together, finally. It took what? It took all of eternity. It took the beginning of time.
No, not since Lightning Racer.
What about Thunder and Lightning?
Has this happened?
At Compounds.
Not since Thunder and Lightning. At Lake Compounds. Has this happened?
Yeah, parks love this combo. It's so hard to resist.
I don't know. Looking at the animation, I'm a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, the thing is with this kind of coaster, I think you just don't know until you ride it. It doesn't look like much.
You don't know.
But
is this going to be a good coaster? You don't know.
Thank you, Guy. Guy Hayrid, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Because who knows? It could really, kick some ass and really throw you out.
So it's supposed to be...
Or it could be really lame and do nothing.
Did you finish your sentence? It's supposed to be
a mini hyper coaster.
It's a mini hyper.
Intamin has been doing these for years.
Known as the what?
Megalight?
Megalight.
Yeah. So now Chance is getting in on this.
Yeah, that's weird. What have they done in about 20, 30 years?
Coaster-wise?
Besides
or just
making
anything
carousels? Yeah, I mean, what have they really been doing?
I don't know what they've been doing.
Now, one thing I noticed when watching the animation is, at least in the animation, the track reminded me of Arrow.
Yes.
I thought was interesting.
I did notice that.
And Train, too, really. It almost looked like an Arrow coaster trying to do tight, not a hyper coaster. I guess it's an airtime machine, I like to call them, where the real purpose of these things is airtime. And you got a little ride doing this airtime thing, but it looks like an Arrow. So I love Arrow. Let me just say that. But at the same time, it just looks like it'd be a rough mess. Because I'm just imagining an Arrow while I'm watching the animation, going through these tight transitions from you curving left, and all of a sudden you're curving right real quick, and then that kind of thing. And I'm just thinking like, holy shit, this is gonna be rough as hell.
Well, aren't they working off of Morgan plans or?
Well, they are.
The way Morgan
they kind of
was doing
merged
it
somewhere in there.
Yeah, Chance Morgan.
So yeah, I guess it's more Morgan than Arrow.
So I think
but there's a connection there because I think wasn't Morgan supplying the track for Arrow for many years, and then they
don't know.
Sounds
right.
They jumped into making their own coasters eventually.
Yeah.
So there's a whole I guess it is going to be sort of an ancestor of Arrow, just by that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Morgan had an association with Arrow at one point, and now Chance has an association with Morgan at this point. So it all comes down. So, I don't know. This could be a wild and woolly one. But so like what you're saying, I mean, Morgan has put together some pretty solid airtime machines.
Oh, yeah.
That were not rough and didn't have transition issues. So
no, none of them are, I think. Really, right?
They're all pretty good. They're all pretty solid.
Yeah, even that little...
Steel Force being my favorite, but they're all pretty solid.
Even that little Santa Monica Pier doodad.
Oh, right.
That was fun.
It's been featured in various commercials.
Yeah, that thing's all over the place.
And, you're right. So, even if it's just anything like that, I mean, it could be a fun little machine.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, I know we've already laid out that we're excited about Kentucky Kingdom in general, reopening. We both agree it's a very positive thing. So this is cool. I mean, they're going to have a new ride. I don't know if this is... I don't know. I could go either way.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to really be a great replacement for Chang, but...
That's what I'm saying. I think it's totally up in the air.
This is one of those, verdict is out, and you're going to have to ride it and see.
Yeah.
Looking forward.
Big ride with Thanks for Riding. Thunderbolt is coming back to Coney Island.
I can't wait.
They're going to build it. They got out the old plans. They're going to build it exactly the way it was, where it was, same spot. It's going to be a classic wooden coaster, finally come back to life.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for it.
2014. Wait, what is this? I'm looking at some artwork. This isn't made out of wood. What is this? Zamperla? When did this happen? Nobody told me. What is this all about?
This doesn't look like the old Thunderbolt.
No, is this even the same location?
I think it is, actually.
Well, I got something right. Well, Zamperla, who has taken over Coney Island, is going to build another roller coaster. They all have a name that harkens back to something. Some part of history on Coney Island.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this will be no exception. They're going to call it Thunderbolt. It has nothing to do with the original Thunderbolt, which was a classic Woody. This is going to be a steel mess. I mean, it's a steel looper, is what it is.
Yeah, a small little steel coaster.
Yeah, a small steel looper. Looks like it's a single car thing. Kind of in the... It's like the Gerstlauer ones.
Yeah. Eurofighters.
Like your Mystery Mine and your SpongeBob. Short and sweet, 3 inversions, just an out and back. If you've never been to Coney Island, it's a very, very unique area. So they're very, very limited. They only have these long, skinny strips of land to build on. So I guess it kind of had to be out and back like that. You don't have a large, plot of land to build on.
It looks like they're trying to get the most out of that tiny plot.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
It actually looks like it could be kind of cool. Honestly, just about everything that they've done at Coney Island thus far in this recent incarnation that started, again, about 4 years ago? 3-4 years
like
ago?
That.
It's been pretty recent. Has been good. It's a lot of fun. They have a lot of cool rides there, and they're going to throw a Thunderbolt in, another cool one. It's a good thing. Coney's keeps coming back. Yeah, they really did a good job. They cleaned it up. There's a lot of fun stuff to do there. So
if you're in the area, check it out.
Yeah, if you're not from New York and you're doing a New York run through, definitely, regardless of what you've heard, and Coney has had its dark times when it hasn't been all that safe and great to be there. But right now, it's going through a bit of a renaissance, and it's definitely, it's definitely fine.
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
They've cleaned it up, and it's secure, and it's worthwhile. There's worthwhile things to do there with this new park. And there's still Dino's Wonder Wheel Park too.
Yep, still going.
So there's technically two. There's Zamperla controlled stuff, and then there's now Dino's is still there with the Wonder Wheel and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and they just fixed up Spookorama.
Oh yeah, and you got
that's a whole other thing.
A classic dark ride, classic. It's Pretzel, right? Pretzel dark ride.
Yeah,
that's there.
Yeah,
still operating with the original Pretzel cars. And it's all cleaned up and safe and secure, like I said. So, come on down to Coney. Thanks for riding on Night Ride.